Hey guys, it's Matt here, and we're lucky enough to get a couple of minutes with one of our favourite winemakers out of Styria at the moment. Roland Tauss, thanks for being here. We appreciate your time.
Thank you also.
We love your wines. Look, we could sit here and talk about soil and this, that, and whatever and terroir for hours, but I guess what's important for us is what ends up in the bottle and how that translates in the glass, of course. So yeah, what would you consider your main winemaking techniques across your range of wines?
There is always a question of technical, starting in the vineyard or also during the winemaking in the cellar. For me, it's a short. It's working with the nature and for the energy in the nature, which is growing in the vineyard and also in the vines and in the grapes. And in the cellar, for me, it's an accompany the wines. And so there is a working with the grapes, it's a changing to the wine, and also for me natural wine, there is not possible that there's the human, my person is always there, and it's also part of my wines. But at first the important thing for me, it's the energy of the liveness that the consumer will find it in his glass. And so I work sensitive in the cellar with natural. There are no filtrations, no additives, nothing. The wines are all aging in wooden barrels. I rack them for twice, and that's all.
How long generally are your maturation times?
The alcoholic fermentation is between 10 and 14 days. Skin contact, most of the white wines is over the night. And we have 3 orange wines. There is the fermentation with the skins for 2 weeks, the longest time, also the reds. And the aging in the wooden barrels from 1 to 3 years.
And how do you determine which wines are matured for a longer time? So which wine stays in barrel for longer? And
we have one vineyard, one hill, Ried Hoheneck. And we have 6 hectares of vineyards, and it's the same soil nearby. But there's a little difference between the downside area and the upside area. And the grapes, the beers in the upside area, they are smaller, they have a bigger skin, and they have much ingredients and more tannins. And so it's a question for me, if there are more tannins in the juice, the wine gets more time in the cellar.
And that doesn't always translate, which we spoke about earlier, into the maceration time. Your maceration time normally stays the same, even though some wines mature for longer and also get a deeper color. How did you come to that point? Because normally a lot of the wines which are more concentrated would get longer, potentially a longer skin maceration or even shorter.
Yeah.
How did you determine that when you were cooking up your recipes, let's say?
I'm working for a long time as wine grower. I started in 1991. And since 2005 I make natural wines and I'm working biodynamic. And all the time it was a question of liveness for me and for the harmony in the wine. And the taste of the grapes, the energy of the nature is very important for me. And so if I'm pressing the grapes, the juice goes down and later into the barrels for the fermentation. And if you make the press empty, you taste the rest. What you have inside goes out in the vineyard normally. But if you taste, there's a lot of taste in the beers, in the grapes. And then it was the idea to make for the white longer skin contact. That you have more aromatics, more tannins later in the wine.
So you're tasting the skins after you press?
This is very important for me to taste, also for starting the harvest. To taste the beers, the grapes, the harmony of extracts all together. This is the important thing for me.
That's constant across all of the process, always taste.
Only the beers. Later in the cellar, I taste not so often.
Okay.
Maybe in 1 time in a month.
Okay, I guess we'll finish on a bit of a general question. Who would you say is maybe not your biggest inspiration, but maybe some other winemakers around that are inspiring you or even doing things that you're finding very interesting?
Yes, I'm a lucky boy because I have very good friends who are also making wine. We are one group, Schmecke Das Leben or Taste Life. We are all of us, we are 5 wine growers from South Styria. And yes, the idea of winemaking of the others and of me, this was for me very important. And the basic of us, you can say, is the nature. To understand with my spirit what has happened outside in the vineyard and what has happened also in the cellar and what I'm doing. But before I do something, I'm thinking about it. It's for the life or it is against the life. So I can't say there's one wine to inspire me. You can say my inspire is the nature.
Perfect. Amazing. Well, thanks so much. We appreciate it. And yeah, we're looking forward to all the next vintages to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac.